Swiss Air 111 is en route from New York to Geneva. The passengers are settling back to enjoy the flight.
Business class and economy class, they would have absolutely no idea that anything was amiss.
As cabin power is cut, some passengers are mildly concerned. But in the cockpit, it's a different story.
I could hear Master Warrior talk, and I had no idea what that meant.
The pilot's attempts to control the jumbo are failing. Few on board realize they only have minutes to live. Disasters don't just happen. They're triggered by a chain of critical events. Unlock the clues and count down those final seconds from disaster. Golden's Bridge, New York. 4:46 p.m. Father of three, Ray Romano, is leaving on a business trip to Europe.
Lynn, are you almost done, honey?
Just finishing up. Is it time already?
It's time.
I just made partner. His accounting firm that he worked for his entire life. He was just an all-around good man.
See you next week.
Please call.
Of course.
At 7:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. New York's JFK Airport. 215 passengers aboard Swiss Air Flight 111 bound for Geneva, Switzerland. Ray Romano is in row 9, near the front of the plane.
Does he have a tap? No. Is he going to sit with you? Yes. That's okay then.
Captain Urs Zimmerman and First Officer Stefan Löw will fly through the night on the 8-hour journey.
Nou even wel.
Minutes into the flight, Swiss Air 111 is cruising at 33,000 feet above the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada.
Ik heb een hele slechte nacht gehad. Met heel veel pijn. Ja, dat kun je wel zeggen, ja. Hoe weet jij dat zo goed, Jos? Mijn maag is leeggelopen met diarreewater. En dat ging me daar een partij bijten. En toen heb ik een verpleegster laten komen. Want ik had daar ook het telefoonnummer van. En die heeft alles schoongemaakt. En heel veel vaseline opgesmeerd. En nou ben ik er vanaf. Nee, ik voel me nog niet beter.
Just 122 kilometers away.
Would you prefer to go on the Halifax?
Ik heb sinds 3 maanden weer een checkie kunnen draaien. Nee, ik kan ook niet lopen, ik kan niet staan, ik kan helemaal niks.
The smoke is gone, but the pilots still want the plane checked. They use oxygen masks as a precaution and begin to descend.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We have a problem with the expedition, which needs to be rectified before we continue the flight. We'll be detouring into Halifax Airport in Canada.
Mountain Air Traffic Control Center, New Brunswick.
I had a quick look on my radar to see where the aircraft was and estimated that it was about 20 minutes away from the airport.
It's Bill Pickrell's job to guide the plane safely into Halifax.
It was going to be a fairly straightforward operation because they were lined up almost perfectly for a straight approach at that point.
Swiss Air 111, good evening. Can I vector you to set up for runway 06 at Halifax?
Yes, Vector 6 will be climbing at 312
Okay, it's a back course approach for runway 06, 30 miles to fly to the threshold.
We need more than 30 miles.
Swiss Air 111, roger, turn left, heading out 0130.
The plane is too high to make it into Halifax on the first pass.
As a general rule,
Nee, ik heb geen eten.
Ideally, the aircraft would have been down around.
Ik heb soep gehad
In this case,
gisteren.
approximately 20,000 feet or slightly above.
En dat is er allemaal uitgelopen.
The pilots loop while they descend further.
Swiss Air 111, when you have time, can I have the
Moeten jullie niet slapen?
My reaction was to turn to my colleague and say, "Oh no, he has to dump fuel now," and then immediately look to see where it would be safe to do it, and at the same time keep it close to the airport.
Pickrell suggests they dump over the airport or detour further and dump over the ocean. The pilots choose the ocean.
It'll be about 10 miles before you're off the coast. You're still within about 25 miles of the airport if you have to get to the airport very quickly.
Okay, that's fine, Cross. Please tell me when we can start to dump the fuel.
The captain starts Swiss Air's procedure for dealing with smoke of unknown origin.
Captain class switch selected, confirmed.
He cuts unnecessary power to the cabin.
Excuse me. Should we be concerned at this point? There's no electricity in the air control.
No, the captain has assured us there's no need for concern. It's just an usual procedure in an emergency landing.
Emergency landing.
There's no need to worry. We'll be landing very shortly. Could you strap her in, please?
Nee, dat is waar.
Oh my God.
The aircraft is at least 6 minutes from the airport.
In the background, I could hear a master warning tone to the pilots, and I had no idea of what that meant.
Nee, ik heb een luier aan.
Swiss Air 111, Roger. We've lost the transponder. Transponder's gone. Come in, Swiss Air 111.
All communication with the plane is lost.
Swiss Air 111, come in.
Air traffic controllers can now only follow its path on their radar.
Swiss Air 111, come in.
We noticed that the aircraft had
Ja,
turned away from the airport.
de laptop lag ergens anders.
Down the coast.
Die ligt nou op de bar.
And we realized that something had gone horribly wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Please, you seats at the back. Go straight down. My colleagues will help you.
Smoking first class.
For 6 minutes, Bill Pickerel watches the plane's erratic course.
It was a very, very helpless feeling to just sit there and not be able to do anything about it.
Dag Joris hoor. Nee, ook één, ja. National Geographic.
To the south, out toward the open ocean. Your aircraft disappeared.
Oh my God, I think we've lost her. I think we've lost it. Swiss Air 111, come in. Swiss Air 111.
The last radar position of Swiss Air Flight 111 is 9 kilometers from the Canadian shore. As word spreads, local fishermen head to sea, intent on rescuing survivors.
Ja, Sparky, dat klopt.
And help move as much as you can. It was just a natural thing to do.
It takes Wayne Manuel an hour to reach the site.
You can see the rest of the boats that were out there at the time, but you can smell the fuel from the jet. As we got closer, you can see.
Ik heb ze niet gestuurd.
...865 kilometers away, in Golden's Bridge, New York, Lynn Romano is catching some news.
Pilot managed to radio there was smoke in the cockpit.
De buren hebben ze weggestuurd.
1,000 feet of altitude.
I saw that there was a plane crash, which always sent chills through me, and I made the sign of the cross because I wanted to, pray for these people, whether they were alive
Eenzaam.
or then.
Jij noemt je eigen wel eenzaam, maar ik ben pas eenzaam. Kan niet lopen, kan niet plassen, kan niet poepen. Krijg af en toe eten. En dan heb ik weer het nadeel dat ik in mijn broek poep.
Call the 800 numbers. I said, look, it's Swiss Air Flight 111. He's in seat 9F. I have all of the information here. Somebody's got to tell me that he was on this aircraft.
Was it Swiss Air 111?
I knew that it was the same aircraft.
Most of what we see floating were clothes, pieces of suitcases, shoes.
Check.
And,
Ik heb geen wiet meer. Dat heb ik al maanden niet meer gerookt.
probably a half a dozen windows over the side of the biggest thing that we see, I believe.
Wayne hoped to find survivors.
Dat heb ik niet.
You always hope. But after you got there, you see where the blood was floating. You knew that there's nothing left. There wouldn't be any survivors.
The devastating news is confirmed at daybreak. All 229 people on board Swiss Air Flight 111 have perished.
They basically told me, there were no survivors, and I really don't remember much after that. It felt like my whole soul was being sucked out of my body.
The Canadian Transportation Safety Board launched an investigation. The deputy chief is Larry Vance. He has 31 years' experience as a pilot and 14 as an air crash investigator. His starting point is the tape from air traffic control.
We had quite a bit of information, in fact, from the very beginning, because we knew that the aircraft had caught on fire, if you will, and that the pilots were...
Kan niet slapen.
What we were interested in was how the fire started, how the fire spread, and how it eventually disabled the airplane.
Ik eet helemaal niet.
Was to answer those three questions.
Ik heb gisteren voor het laatst 2 mokken met tomatensoep op. En dat is alles. Ik eet maar 2 mokken soep per dag.
Before investigators can establish what caused the fire on Swiss Air 111, they must recover the wreckage. Over 20 agencies from Canada, the US, and Europe are drafted in to help. Personal effects and wreckage wash ashore on 200 kilometers of rugged coastline.
You will find human remains. Can't tell you how to deal with it, just deal with it and get on with the job.
Only one body is found intact. Divers and remotely operated vehicles scour the wreckage 54 meters under the sea.
It was very critical for us to try and recover the black boxes, because that's where you get a lot of the basic information about what was happening in the cockpit. So we were very anxious to get our hands on those.
Within 9 days of the crash, both black boxes are found intact.
Dan moet je langskomen en er eentje draaien voor mij.
The team learned that the pilots first smelled and then saw smoke. But after the smoke cleared, it returned, bringing fire with it.
What's there, 111, check you're cleared to start fuel up.
But investigators learn little more.
The information for the last 6 minutes on both recorders was missing. So that was a bit of a disappointment to us. We thought we were going to have the information all the way to the impact, but in fact we didn't.
Deze peuk,
Policies don't provide
die heb ik al 3 maanden niet gerookt. Dat is een gewone peuk.
It takes months to retrieve the wreckage and personal effects. Bereaved relatives are invited to come and reclaim their loved ones' possessions.
Straks komt er een vrouw mijn was doen. En ik zal haar gelijk vragen of dat zij eten ook wil gaan halen. Voor mij.
Lynn sees her husband's notepad with the shopping list he wrote that morning.
Man, die zijn allemaal gesloten. Er is niks open.
And when I asked them, why? How could this be? Basically, they just explained it as the G-force and, what happens. And I wish I never asked.
Lieman net geen stoofvlees. En Lieman is ook gesloten. En hoe moet hij mij eten afgeven? Ik kan niet lopen, ik kan de bank niet uit. Ik kan helemaal niks. Ja, nou, Juri.
It presented us with a very unique opportunity because not very many times are you going to have an event where you have a full-fledged fire in progress, extinguished all at the same time, all instantly, so it preserves that fire in that moment of time.
Investigators' priority
Ja, Jos.
where the fire began and what initiated it. Don Enns is the Transportation Safety Board's senior technical investigator. He heads the investigation's fire group.
The first bits that came up that were identified as fire damage were from the either the cockpit or the first class galley or the first class compartment. So we're looking at that area.
Seeing that all the fire damaged wreckage is from the front of the plane, the team decides the best way to understand what happened is to reconstruct it. Like a 5,000-piece puzzle, the wreckage is painstakingly attached to a full-size wire jig.
As you put more of the stuff together, the picture became more and more clear. I can remember looking at the roof of Galley 1 in particular and seeing all the heat damage from the outside in, which is actually putting the heat source above.
Enkel en alleen een flink bakje stoofvlees. Geen friet, niks erbij. Alleen maar stoofvlees.
It houses electronic equipment, wiring, air conditioning components, and insulation. There were no smoke detectors in the attic, and no requirement to have them.
Nee, alleen maar stoofvlees.
Passengers would have absolutely no idea what was going on until the fire actually came through the ceiling, and even that would only have happened in the first class galley, for maybe in the first class section. At the back of the airplane, business class and economy class, they would have absolutely no idea that anything was amiss.
A bulkhead wall divides the attic into two compartments, with a small tunnel for wiring to pass through. By understanding who could smell the smoke when, from the black box recordings, And by looking at the fire damage on the reconstruction, the team established that the fire started in front of the bulkhead, above the cockpit ceiling, where the pilots noticed the smell almost immediately.
If it had started behind that bulkhead wall, it would have done a lot more damage, more rearward into the fuselage, and the people in the back of the airplane would have smelled smoke and odor before the people in the cockpit did.
Now they know where the fire started. They need to work out how it started.
One of the things that we looked for, of course, was whether or not there was any criminal activity involved.
Close inspection at some of the wreckage suggests there was.
Very early on in the investigation, we started finding what looked like buckshot from shotgun shot. The little ball bearing things, they were everywhere. In the seats and the seat backs and so on.
Als ze maar kunnen clearen, hè.
You know, like what's going on here?
They question whether the fire was part of a terrorist plot, where someone boarded the plane with a shotgun. Until they learned what was in the plane's cargo hold.
It turns out that there were little tips for ballpoint pens. Those little tiny roller things that they put in the end of a ballpoint pen. There were tens of thousands of those things.
Ja, Sparky, dat moet je niet vragen, dat moet je gelijk doen. Waarom vraag je daar toestemming voor? Ik heb jou niet voor niks moderator gemaakt. Gelijk weg met die vent. Maar dat doe je niet.
Blijven smokkelaars het altijd. There's some gold at the bottom. We suspect it might be bacteria in origin. En overal proberen.
Is a big red flag for us? They risk death.
To Catch a Smuggler. Elke zondag 7 uur, National Geographic. Als de honden ligt, is er maar één. Maar één man die... Als de honden ligt, is er maar één man die... Oh, haal die zo'n ander maar gewoon bij. I thought the world there is no such a thing as bad...
Nee, die doet alleen maar clearen. Die doet geen eten doneren. Die moet je blokkeren. En dan moet je niet meer wachten. Dan moet je niet vragen. Dan moet je niet meer wachten. Je bent moderator en weg met die vent.
Maar architectuur is meer dan beton en staal.
I always like to say it's a piece of art. It's a sculpture.
Nou, wie blokkeert die ESAN dan? Verdorie. Blokkeer die ESAN.
With criminality ruled out, Vance and his team must consider other possible causes of Swiss Air 111's fire.
We know where the fire started. We knew it was up above the ceiling in the cockpit area. And then we started looking for potential emission sources up.
Als je dat niet doet, Sparky, dan blokkeer ik jou. Blokkeren die ESAN.
The plane has 250 kilometers of wire. 3,000 pieces have been collected from the crash site. Air crash investigator Jim Foot knows his team's task is enormous. First, they must try to identify where each wire came from.
The B wires were from...
Geen time-out. Blokkeren.
Those wires we were definitely interested in. Any wire that began with the letter B, we wanted.
Every inch of this wire.
Jim's team search for damaged or missing insulation to see if they can find the wire that ignited the fire.
Any wire, if you get the wire rubbing against a metal piece, then you can wear through that insulation. And if that wire is powered, then you could have an arcing event as it touches that structure.
An arcing event is an electrical discharge which leaps from an exposed live wire. Like a tiny bolt of lightning, It creates a split-second flash of light and intense heat. This arc melts the wire's copper threads, leaving a telltale copper ball. It's these copper balls.
Ik heb niks. Helemaal niks.
They find 20 wire segments that had arc. Most of them ran through the ceiling of the cockpit. Any of them could have sparked the fire. 8 of the wire segments powered the state-of-the-art personal in-flight entertainment system, which was fitted to the first and business class cabins in the year before the disaster.
Als je bij een pompstation gaat en onderweg bent naar mij, dan moet je eens 2 kadetjes met gekookte ham voor mij kopen. Bij dat pompstation.
All the material that we had recovered, that we hadn't isolated ourselves down to the lead event arc.
Analysis of the wiring comes to an end. Jim Foote is resigned to not finding the initiator.
Dat lust ik wel. 2 broodjes ham.
He takes one last look at one of the arced wires.
Ja, gekookte ham.
He wasn't treating them quite as carefully as he had in the past. So he was opening up the ends that were all crumpled up. I started to unravel these wires. Lo and behold, I found a second arc mark on the same phase as one of the other ones that we had already noted. Larry?
Have a look.
Nee, geen rucola erop. Alleen maar ham.
I knew these wires well enough, and Jim knew them well enough that when I looked through that microscope and I saw that tiny little arc, I thought, wow, that's it. We found it. Jim got it.
To confirm that this is the arc that sparked the fire, they place it
Nee.
in the mock-up of the cockpit ceiling's wiring system.
There's a lot of wires that come through the ceiling of that area that are attached to a metal bracket. What we think happened is that this
Planes are subjected to constant vibration as they travel at over 900 kilometers an hour. Investigators believe vibration caused the chafing. The wire's insulation became damaged, allowing the wire to arc on the metal bracket.
We finally come to a conclusion in our own minds, almost instantly, to say that had to be it, because we knew from the positioning of those wires that where he had found that little arc was exactly where the fire had started.
The team were concerned the in-flight entertainment system had not been properly installed. As a precaution, Swissair removed this non-essential system from its entire fleet.
We can begin to speed up this process.
Investigators had found the source of the fire on Swissair 111, but there were more questions they wanted to answer. They knew the pilots couldn't prevent the fire. They needed to know whether they could have prevented the crash.
As investigators, you have to say what circumstances were these pilots in that caused them to do what they did that led to the eventual loss of the aircraft.
Vance and his team scrutinized the decisions they made in the minutes before impact. The black box recordings tell them that the cockpit filled with smoke and fire just moments after the pilots turned off excess power to the passenger cabins.
One of the things that they ended up turning off is they turned off the recirculating fans, which are in the back, and that changed the whole airflow for the fire.
These fans had drawn the blaze through the bulkhead, away from the cockpit area. Once switched off, the blaze changed direction.
It just went like that. It changed just right off the bat.
The fire raged above the cockpit, burning through the ceiling and disabling critical aircraft systems.
En wie dat er komt met iets lekkers, die krijgt een aansteker van mij. Met mij erop.
The stricken plane
Zie je
no
dat?
longer flyable.
Ik heb er niet veel meer, want ik ben ze allemaal kwijt.
Are not trained for turning off the power to the passenger cabins. They were following Swiss Air's procedure for managing smoke of unknown origin. Ultimately, there was one critical decision the pilots made in the minutes before the crash, which attracted widespread criticism.
There are still questions about whether the pilots took too long to try an emergency landing. Investigators say they turned towards Halifax, but then looped again over the sea to dump fuel.
Ja, en ik heb ook een gewone.
Fuel added minutes to the flight. It was a procedure they could have ignored. Investigators want to know whether this detour cost the lives of the 229.
Ik lust geen vis. Vuile treiteraar.
Altitude was 33,000 feet.
Sparky, als je er nog bent. Hij is er weer. Blokkeert hem even. Ik wil van die vent niks horen.
But at this time, they didn't know that Halifax Airport was an option. Furthermore, a fully functioning plane would have needed 13 minutes to make the descent. Theirs was only flyable for 10.
By the time they decided they were going to dump fuel, they weren't going to make it to Halifax anyway. They were going to crash somewhere. Their decision on whether or not to dump fuel did not
Nee, ook niet.
was the difference as to whether or not they were going to live or not.
Captain Urs Zimmerman and First Officer Stefan Löw are cleared of any responsibility for the crash of Swiss Air 111. The investigation team successfully reconstructed the front of the plane, established where the fire began, and found the arc that sparked it. But they know a single spark did not bring the airplane down. To prevent future fires, the team needed to find out what had been burning.
The threat to the airplane, in fact, was what was fueling the fire. If you have flammable material in such abundance that is capable of burning the airplane up, that's the real threat to the airplane.
All the materials in American planes have to pass the US Federal Aviation Authority's flammability test before they can be used. But something in Swiss Air 111's attic was clearly very flammable.
I can think of nothing in the areas that exist that would promote burning.
Their attention is drawn to the shiny metallized material that covered the fiberglass insulation, MPET, more commonly known as metallized mylar.
We recovered some of that insulation blanket cover material, the metallized mylar, floating on the ocean. We little pieces of it. What do you suppose? But it showed burn marks. It showed that it had been on fire.
Metallized mylar was installed in 699 US registered planes. If it had fueled the fire, all of them were also at risk.
We had enough of it that we were recovering that wasn't burned. We took a little bit of it and set it on the hangar floor and touched the match to it.
Oh my God, look at that. That's incredible.
Nee, ik heb geen Discord.
Very flammable. We thought, man, this airplane is full of that stuff.
Vance is confident that metallized mylar fueled the fire on Swiss Air 111.
Yes. I think we've come across what might be the problem.
He immediately informs the US Federal Aviation Authority.
Got fire.
They had flame tested metallized mylar more than 10 years earlier and passed it.
Als ze maar kunnen clearen, hè.
One of the things that we did was to go back and look at the history.
Dat vinden ze het leukste.
To see if there had been previous opportunities to identify that as a hazardous material. And in fact, we found several events during which metallized mylar was on fire in airplanes.
As a result of these previous fires, the plane's manufacturer, McDonnell Douglas, suggested metallized mylar should be stripped from all their aircraft. 4 years before the
Nee,
crash, the US Federal Aviation Authority had retested metallized mylar and found it was
omdat ik beroemd ben,
but they didn't ban it.
daarom doen ze
The fact
kleren
is that none of them
en ik krijg
thought
geen hulp.
had one of these previous accidents resulted in a number of fatalities, if you had a body count, then they may well have reacted differently.
The FAA now had a body count of 229. Again, they tested the metallized mylar, subjecting it to much more realistic in-flight fire conditions. It failed. The FAA gave US airlines 4 years to strip it from their planes.
We know that we got results because we had blood on the water. There were a number of people did, and then people paid attention to it, and then we were able to move forward with our safety message and have it accepted.
Als de honden ligt, is er maar één. Maar één man die. Als de honden ligt.
Nee, ook geen verbetering.
Als die zo meldt er maar gewoon bij.
I thought the world there is no such a thing as a bad dog. Together with my super
Nee joh,
our mission is to be better humans and better dogs. One pack at a time.
het is altijd hetzelfde met die mensen. Ik bel je wel. En ik kan de telefoon niet aannemen. En dan denken ze bij de rij, gaat hij de telefoon niet aanneemt, dan kom ik niet op. Nou, dan blijven ze toch lekker weg. Die Pesca is ook van het looikartel, jong. Dat is ook zo'n treiteraar.
Kustwachtklaringsgebied, een nieuw seizoen vanaf zondag 12 februari 9 uur National Geographic. Gebouwen, bruggen, musea, theaters. We worden er dagelijks door omringd.
The most important for a building that it functions.
Maar architectuur is meer dan beton en staal.
I always like to say it's a piece of art. It's a sculpture.
Ontdek de bijzondere verhalen achter 's werelds grootste architectonische wonderen.
This building has actually become more representative for a whole way of thinking.
Top 10 Architecture, elke donderdag 10 uur, National Geographic.
The investigation into Swiss Air 111 was the longest the Canadian Transportation Safety Board had ever undertaken. It took 4.5 years to complete. Using the detailed information that investigators unearthed, we can now reveal precisely what took place on Swiss Air 111 and what the pilots faced in the minutes before impact. "21 minutes to disaster. A wire in the attic arcs, igniting metallized mylar. The pilots smell something strange, but think it's an air conditioning problem. 18 minutes to disaster. Seeing smoke, they decide to land and head towards Halifax.
Ik heb geen andere bank.
16 minutes to disaster.
Ik heb nou een ziekenhuisbed. Dit is een ziekenhuisbed.
This clears smoke from the cockpit. 11 minutes to disaster. While looping to lose height, the pilots choose to detour further and dump fuel over the ocean. They don't know what's happening in the attic.
Ik ben met kerst helemaal alleen geweest. Ja, een ziekenhuisbed.
8 minutes to disaster. The captain cuts power to the cabin. This shuts down the air conditioning fans, allowing the inferno to rage directly above the cockpit. 7 minutes to disaster. The blaze destroys the autopilot system, forcing the pilots to fly manually. Only now do they realize the enormity of the problem. Investigators suspect Captain Zimmerman fights the fire, leaving First Officer Love to fly the stricken plane. 6 minutes to disaster. The fire disables the flight displays, communications with air traffic control, and the black boxes. In the searing heat, First Officer Love struggles to keep control, but the plane is no longer flyable. All 229 passengers and crew are dead. To ensure against further loss of life, Canada's Transportation Safety Board made recommendations. Many have been adopted globally by the aviation industry. They suggested that procedures for dealing with smoke of unknown origin be radically rethought.
Our recommendation was that if you have smoke or odor in an airplane, that you have to assume that it is a fire that's out of control until you prove otherwise. And that, I think, has sunk its way into the aviation community a lot better than it did before suicide 9/11.
Investigators' biggest success was the banning of flammable metallized mylar.
We know as a result of the suicide 9/11 investigation that materials that might otherwise have been put in airplanes are no longer being put in airplanes. So a lot of good work has been done and a lot of good safety action has been taken.
While metallized mylar is no longer used in Western countries, airlines in some developing countries have not been persuaded to remove it from their planes. Lives are still at risk. The next steps to make air travel safer may only be taken after another tragic incident.
There has to be another event which refocuses people's attention. And then you have to say, we told you so, and you didn't fix it, now you better fix it because it's going to happen again. You cannot make people make change unless they feel a liability.
On this special movie night episode of Food Factory, we go to the moon, pie, and back. Pair up popcorn and potato chips in a double bill, and we scream for ice cream. Sandwiches. But first, kicking off our movie night episode is a candy with so much star power, it truly needs no introduction. But since we're paid to give it an introduction, we figured we'd give it a go. They're crunchy, they're colorful. They were originally called chocolate nibbler beans, and for Smarties marketing manager Danielle Giordano, they bring back some strong movie night memories.
Growing up, we throw Smarties in a bowl and we share them with the family over movie night.
But for Nestle's marketing leader Christine McLean, every day is about making millions.
Nestle is so successful because we are one big team working together to produce the most amazing products for our consumers, and that makes us all really happy.
So whether it's movie night, Halloween night, or just a Tuesday night treat, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more beloved snack.
So not only can you bite in and
Ik heb al 3 maanden niet gerookt.
and suck on them slowly, crunch them very fast, it's up to you and there's no rules.
The iconic little chocolates get made in this Toronto facility that's been churning out Smarties since the 1940s, when actors like Humphrey Bogart were still leading them. The process begins with a slow drip of Nestle Supreme Milk Chocolate into these 2 chilled molds, which continuously roll around like reels on a film projector. The molds cool the chocolate as it passes through, producing these long strips made up of individual Smartie centers called lentils that are connected by thin chocolate webbing. Those pieces spend the next few minutes being tossed and churned
conveyors designed to break off and filter out the chocolate webbing from the Smarties themselves. Break it down for us, process operator Michael.
The web is the form that shape together, that keep them together, so you're breaking them off. Small one.
Once the conveyors have done their worst, the chocolate heads off this elevator system that brings it to the first in a series of tumblers.
The initial tumbler gives the lentils one last hearty jostling to fully filter out any excess webbing that may have snuck by.
After a quick roll, the Smarties leap out and hop along a new series of conveyors that lead them to their second spin cycle.
As this happens, let's take a quick movie intermission to visit our friend Augustus here.
Hi, I'm Augustus. I am the protest supporting actor.
Augustus is working hard to earn a Best Supporting Actor award for his role in Dedicated Employee for over 40 years.
Wow, he's like a young Marlon Brando.
Uncanny.
Daar ben ik zelf al mee bezig, Sparky.
Huge mixing tanks behind him. To begin mixing a shell coating and a cornstarch mixture. Two ingredients that will play a key role in helping the Smarties take shape.
Both come into play as the milk chocolate lentils spend their next hour.
Ik dacht dat jij op weg was naar mij, Sparky. Met 2 broodjes gekookte ham. Zonder wat erop. Ja, Sparky, dat klopt.
In one day, we make 13.9 million Smarties. And in 1 year, we make 3.2 billion Smarties.
Show us.
Now fully smoothed out, the Smarties are ready for their candy coating.
And believe it or not, that process also takes place in a tumbler.
Do you want to move right there?
Inside the flavoring tumbler, the lentils get coated with a final spray of syrup and a thick coat of flour before being met with non-artificial coloring.
So Smarties get their color through natural sources, and so all the colors are derived from
Broodje ham.
Wait a second, fruits and vegetables? You're telling me that orange Smarties are made from carrots?
Relax. They don't taste like fruits and vegetables. The orange ones don't taste like carrot.
Of een ham-kaasbroodje. 2.
Batches are used to fulfill the Smarties color profiles. That's purple,
Orange, pink, yellow, green, blue, brown,
and red.
Nee, biscuit. Ik kan niet lopen, biscuit.
Smarties are outputted over to the packaging department where they all come together as one vibrant, delicious mix.
The blended Smarties fall down here into weighted feeding spouts, which swivel around and deposit goodness into each awaiting box.
Now packaged, they're flopped over and proceed onto a new conveyor where they turn a corner and pass by these quick-moving folk who slide the boxes into crates.
Those crates get stacked up right here as pallets and are forklifted into the warehouse for movie watchers from coast to coast.
So while gone are the days of heading to the video store to grab your VHS tape, some traditions endure.
Like your family and friends crowded on the couch, some Hollywood stars on the screen,
In een luier.
all of Smarties keeping everyone smiling.
Smarties are perfect for movie night because you can throw them in a bowl. They're small pieces, easy to grab, share with your friends and family, and they don't get your hands sticky.
The only question left is, do you eat the red ones last?
Well, my favorite color is pink and then red, and I don't eat the red ones last.
What? Treason!
I eat the pink first. I save the brown ones for last.
Christy and Kara redeem this on-brand ending.
I pour them out, and I sort them by their colors, and then I eat them one by one, very slowly. And I do save the red ones for
Er
last.
komt een poetsvrouw straks.
You know who's the smartest of them all?
Maar die komt in hoofdzaak mijn kleren wassen. Maar die ga ik wel vragen of dat ze voor mij wat boodschappen wil doen.
Attention, please. This is the last call. Anyone found in possession of illegal contraband has been warned.
Ondanks de risico's.
You've intercepted this large shipment of narcotics concealed in the heads of snapperfish.
Blijven smokkelaars het altijd.
There's some gold at the bottom. We suspect it might be bacterial in origin.
En overal kopiëren.
There's a big red flag for us. They risk death.
To Catch a Smuggler. Elke zondag 7 uur, National Geographic. Gebouwen, bruggen,
Ja, gejat. Ik koop geen Eufy-deurbel meer. Want dat is de tweede al die ze gejat hebben.
This building has actually become a representative for a whole way of thinking. Top 10 architecture, elke donderdag, 10 uur, National Geographic. Leven in Alaska is niet voor iedereen.
Die doet het ook niet meer, mijn GoPro. En die ligt aan de andere kant van de kamer. En ik kan niet lopen, dus ik kan daar niet bij.
Extreme weersomstandigheden. Een geschenk uit de hemel. Een nieuw seizoen van Alaska, The Next Generation. Vanaf zaterdag 7 uur, National Geographic.
You know, some nights you just want to curl up on the sofa and watch a rom-com and have a good cry.
A rom-com? No way. I'm more of a scary movie gal.
Yeah, figures. Face it, it's hard enough to agree on movies, so why argue about snacks? Lucky Fox's Island Mix combines sweet, crunchy caramel corn with salty potato chips.
PEI potatoes make the best potato chips because they're locally grown with love.
Dat weet ik niet, Sparky.
Lucky Fox's Island Mix gives PEI potatoes top billing.
Our delivery guy, Bud, he brings the spice right from the red mud, and I make sure there's no ducks.
Why stop and tell me the cameo in this?
Island Mix is an artisanal product made in small amounts, so they only use 25 potatoes in each batch.
Peter places a few potatoes at a time in an industrial slicer that cuts them paper thin.
Next, Carter, the assistant and best boy at Lucky Fox, washes the potato slices to remove excess starch.
Yeah, Carter knows that any good movie director always gets a second take, so he transfers the taters into the next sink for rinse number 2.
This rinsing prevents the chips from sticking to each other while they're frying, and it also makes sure that they cook perfectly. Excess starch can cause...
Die laptop is niet weg geweest. Die lag gewoon ergens op de grond. Maar die ligt nou erbij.
Peter carefully puts the potato slices into hot oil, which immediately starts bubbling furiously. Come on, man, don't be so angry.
The chips fry for 6 minutes until they're an irresistible golden brown.
Peter scoops out the chips with a slotted spoon and gently puts them into a basket to cool and drain off any excess oil.
Once the chips are drained and cooled, they're transferred into a seasoning drum, where they're sprinkled with sea salt as the drum is rotated.
And now the chips face another level of quality control. They're poured out onto the sorting table, where Peter puts them through a screen test, if you may. He refuses to cast any discolored, broken, or just plain yucky chips.
But the chips are the only star of the show. There's another lead actor, and that is, drum roll please, popcorn.
Peter measures out 1 kilogram of popcorn kernels, adds 30 milliliters of sea salt, pours it into the heated kettle of the popper, which means...
It's about to get poppin'.
300 milliliters of non-GMO canola oil is added to the kettle, and then it's just a waiting game.
Ik ga eerst maar eens zoeken op internet hoe dat ze dat schrijven. George?
You do. Come on, get all method for us.
When our popcorn machine gets poppin', it's like pop, pop, pop in here.
With that delivery, I nominate Steven for Best Supporting Begrudger. But now for the real thing, the pop, pop, popping kernels. Bravo! Bravo!
That's what I call a blockbuster.
The popcorn is transferred to a slotted table that will sift any unpopped kernels out, and the good stuff is put into buckets.
Next up is the caramel. Peter mixes up PEI butter, brown sugar, and what else is that?
Let's get in closer to see. Camera, zoom in.
Whoa, no, Carter.
Super secret caramel formula. Can't see this.
Let's fast forward to the good part, shall we?
While the caramel is being cooked and stirred, Peter prepares the potato chips for the Island Mix by crushing them into small pieces and adding them to the popcorn.
Peter reaches up to pour the popcorn and chip mixture into the kettle, where it gets stirred into the caramel.
Once the mixture is thoroughly combined, the kettle is dumped onto a cooling table.
While it's still warm, Peter stirs it up by hand to make sure that every last bit of the popcorn and potato chip mixture is covered in ooey gooey caramel.
Carter helps him spread the island mix onto baking sheets in a thin layer, and then places them onto a rack to cool,
otherwise known as a cooling rack. Now that the island mix is completely cooled, Carter wheels the rack into a room for packaging.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a packaging room?
Touche.
Climb the step ladder to pour the island mix into the hopper of the batching machine.
This semi-automatic machine pours 200 grams of island mix into a chute. Carter holds a bag underneath the chute and steps on a pedal to release the snack into the bag.
Release the snacks. Release them. Now that all the bags are filled, Carter feeds each one into a heat sealer.
He packs the sealed bags into a box. Then moves the boxes into the warehousing area where they'll be shipped out for wide release to snack-starved movie junkies everywhere.
Okay, so ready for your close-up, Carter?
Action! I said action!
I didn't know I was supposed to say something.
Okay, take two. Action!
Ready for movie night.
And that's a wrap.
It's time for the feature presentation.
All right, buddy. Here we go. Thanks. Cheers. Cheers.
If you still think Movie Night automatically eats popcorn, Marvel Slab's president Cam Ingalls has a few words for you.
Move over, popcorn.
Move over indeed, because popcorn's got some heavy competition now that Marvel Slab Creamery has come up with these handcrafted ice cream sandwiches.
They're so good. They're so good. Oh my gosh.
Hey, who's Cam's friend?
Yeah, who's your friend, Cam?
I'm Jason Brass, president of Terracotta Cookie Co. And together, we make ice cream sandwiches.
Terracotta worked painstakingly to develop a chocolate chip cookie with enough star power to pair with Marvel Slab's delectable cotton candy ice cream.
Yeah, and once they landed on the final pairing, there's no denying it's something special.
Unanimously, everyone was like, this is the one. This is the one.
That perfect chocolate chip cookie is made right here in Georgetown, Ontario.
Inside Terracotta's 20,000 square foot facility, Tracy gets the cookies started at the mixer.
To get the batter prepared, she adds in margarine, followed by brown sugar, white sugar, and baking soda.
After giving the initial ingredients a little time to mix, Tracy then adds water, liquid eggs, flour, and xanthan gum,
which once again get tossed and turned and mixed together.
With the batter made, it's now time for the main attraction, the chocolate chips. Oh, baby.
This is my favorite part.
This is everyone's favorite part, Tracy.
Yeah. Once the chips are evenly mixed in, the batter is transferred into these buckets, brought over to the depositing line.
After the dough has been loaded into the depositor, it's extruded out, 3 cookies at a time, which are sliced off by a wire cutter.
Why a wire cutter?
The wire gives it that nice texture that makes the cookies slightly imperfect. We want it to look like Grandma made it in Marvel Slab.
With the depositing done, the baking sheets are stacked up on these racks,
then rolled directly to the baking line.
Oh, they shot it all in one long take, just like that scene in Goodfellas.
Sure, that helps you.
Yeah, it does.
The rolling rocks then go directly into the convection oven, set to 175 degrees Celsius, which keeps them spinning for even baking.
It's got to be moist. It's got to be chewy. It's got to take on the right amount of ice cream.
Once the cookies are ready, they're rolled over to the freezer room to prepare them for shipping.
After taking a brief intermission in the cold, the cookies head over to the packaging line.
Here, they're taken off their baking pans and placed into a horizontal flow wrapper, which can package 25,000 cookies in an 8-hour shift.
After getting wrapped up, they're wrapped off the conveyor and placed in master cases for Marvel Slab stores nationwide.
The end. Fin.
Wait, the segment's ending on a cliffhanger? We're not even going to see the ice cream sandwiches get made?
Oh, don't you worry, because today we've got a double feature on the bill.
All right.
Yep, the Marvel chocolate chip cookies make their way from Terracotta directly into a Marvel Slab kitchen.
Here they're left out to thaw as the cotton candy ice cream is prepared.
Marvel Slab is famous for making their ice cream fresh in store.
In other words, this is the Charlton Heston of ice creams. The best.
Yeah, I'm more of an Ashton Kutcher guy.
Of course you are.
I'd say Johnny Depp is an ice cream sandwich gorger. That's what I think.
Yeah? For real?
I don't know.
Well, what we do know is that the cookies and ice cream come together on the Marvel Slab top and get sculpted into one sweet, delicious treat by a dessert artist. like ballroom.
Oh yeah, I am a dessert artist.
Well, Michelangelo, consider me a great patron of your art. And if these mouth-watering shots don't have you tempted, then maybe this trailer Cam and Jason put together will entice you. Roll it, boys!
This summer, 2 epic snacks.
2 epic snacks.
Cookies and ice cream.
Cookies and ice cream.
Coming to a living room near you.
Now that's a trailer I can get behind.
Me too. Right,
So shall we see it together?
Really?
Psych.
What?
In a world where moviegoers hunger endlessly for snacks,
An innocent young marshmallow needs a chocolatey graham cracker coating.
and together they create Moon Pie Bites, changing movie snacking forever.
Taste of Nature began over 20 years ago with myself and my business partner. What made us want to get into the confections industry was that we felt that there wasn't enough candy selection for the movie theaters. This is my breakout movie as a first-time director. I think we missed a spot. This is important.
Yeah, I mean, Doug's about to give us the elevator pitch for Moon Pie Bites.
It's a perfect movie theater snack. It's bite size. It brings together 3 delicious flavors that we all know and love. Marshmallows, graham crackers, and chocolatey flavors, all in one.
Smash cut to Melrose Park, Illinois, where Taste of Nature produces those bite-sized treats.
The story starts with chocolate, like all good stories do. Oscar awards chocolate discs to this huge kettle and pours them in.
The kettle heats and stirs 1,360 kilograms of chocolate until it's melted.
Next comes the marshmallow centers. Roll the marshmallow montage.
The marshmallows are made at a factory in New Berlin, Wisconsin. Flour, sugar, and oil are combined, mixed, shaped, and quick frozen before being shipped to Taste of Nature.
The still frozen marshmallow pieces are poured into these rotating drums. Each batch starts with 47 kilograms of marshmallow.
The drums tumble the marshmallow pieces and spray in 45 kilograms of chocolate while the pieces turn.
Near the end of the tumbling, 2.7 kilograms of graham cracker crumbs are scooped into the drums and get mixed into the chocolate coating.
Action! Yeah. When Doug's in the factory, he sometimes gets a little intense and thinks he's the director on the floor filming a movie. Cut! Circle that thing!
Once the candy has reached a 50-50 mix between marshmallow and chocolate, they're put back into their boxes and moved to the polishing room.
The polishing drums are filled up with the candy and tumbled again. Candy syrup is poured in to coat the chocolate.
This big white pipe here blows air into the tumbler to dry the syrup quickly. The candy coating makes the chocolate shiny and glossy. Once the candy coating is dry, the Moon Pie Bites go back into their boxes to sit and cure for 24 hours before packaging.
The next day, the candy is poured into a giant hopper. In a typical day, Taste of Nature produces 2,500 kilograms of Moon Pie Bites.
The hopper dispenses the candy into a bucket conveyor that lifts the Moon Pie Bites into a futuristic batch maker.
88 grams of bites are dropped into each cello bag, which are heat sealed and dropped onto a conveyor.
On a second conveyor, the bags are dropped into separate compartments that line up with the boxes.
The bags of bites are slid into retail boxes, which then get sealed.
The boxes zoom along the conveyor line until they're scooped up by the packaging team and put into display cases.
And then shipping cartons are fitted around each box and are manually palletized.
Each year, 15 million boxes of this bite-sized treat are shipped out to snack. Don't back.
Go! Looking good! Looking real good! Looking good! Excellent! We got it!
Stealing the show.
That's a wrap on Moon Pie Bites. Thank you!
No doubt, thank you for delicious Moon Pie Bites.
going to respond to the responders. Absolutely. Wow. That's a bar right there.
That's a strong one.
This family called me for Bella, but they have some brutal dogfights within this pack. I can't just say Jennifer and Eric's word that Bella is the problem. I have to assess the entire pack. If you don't mind, we can go for a walk. Okay. And the best way to do that is to see how they walk as a pack. Let's go and experience the energy. Come with me. Please. Okay. I follow you. Okay. Just kind of take it to the routes. Okay. Seeing them leave the house, that's pretty dangerous. Because they're allowing the dog to be in front full throttle, full force, full anxiety, full aggression, full excitement, all of that. The humans are actually serving like a dead weight. So they're not guiding. Shoulders up, shoulders up. They're walking, but they're not in control. Good boy. Dogs should not be in front of you, especially walking in the neighborhood. Good boy. Bella's pulling really hard. She's about to pull Jennifer out of her shoes. So the first thing we need to do is to get that dog under control. Jennifer, bring it over here. This is like a halter. So at least we're going to eliminate the pulling. And then once you eliminate the pulling, you can ask for the fun.
Okay.
Normal. That's good. That's all good. Come with me, Jennifer. I'm going to use you so she can follow you.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pass it to you when she starts. There you go. So that way we at least bring in the speed down and we can start guiding the car.
Got it.
Because right now you had a car that was all over the place, fully looking for dogs.
Yeah, makes sense.
So the dog gets amped. Oh, that's all good. This is the redirection. This is when she doing the redirection. When I say redirection, I simply mean redirected aggression. When Bella is overexcited by any target, if she can't reach that particular target, she'll redirect that energy to someone or something near her. If she can't get to him, she has to redirect that energy. You know, it happens to a lot of people where they can't release their energy somewhere. Sometimes they end up releasing it in the wrong family members. Yeah, so it's yeah. There you go. She's really excited and fight for each part, right? Have you ever put a halter on her? No, right? No, she's not used to it. That's a problem. You were using the harness, but automatically this gives you that. See that? So this is not a walk.
No.
You're actually nurturing a fighting mentality. And that's not what you're trying to do.
Right. No. Just honing in on that dog barking.
By using the harness when Jennifer pulls, that makes the dog pull harder. That puts Bella into scouting fighting mode. It's not intentional, but the harness nurtures the fighting mentality, which is now carrying over into their home. Sending the wrong signals.
Yeah. I definitely think that Bella would attack another dog. Any sort of excitement, whether it's good or bad, she redirects.
Once the leash goes on her nose, you see how the brain changes?
Yeah.
Drastic. Mm-hmm. That's why tools are so important to understand the outcome I'm going to gain by that tool. That is fighting right now. Pulling. This is calming and paying attention.
Yeah.
What I learned is this. The family can even walk their dogs because of how excited they all get in the neighborhood. All of the pulling and Bella's aggressive lunging means that they don't want to go out for walks. No walk means no exercise. And no exercise for this pack means you got pent up aggressive, dangerous energy. These three are just raw power mixed with aggression. But it's the pent up energy that really makes them super dangerous right now. So I need to get them off the streets and into a place where they can begin to burn up that energy and see what kind of dog they are underneath.
Later that day, the Calderon family makes their way to the Dog Psychology Center.
I'm so thankful for this opportunity to have the dogs.
Yeah.
His family come here.
Because these dogs are so powerful and potentially volatile, anything that could trigger these dogs are locked up safely. This is a first here at the DPC, and we're not taking any chances. Hold on. Get this guy over here. That's the excitement we don't want. This is a little too excited as well. Who's the biggest problem? We still don't know. We've seen some overexcitement, especially with Bella's redirection. The only way we can get a full picture is after we give this dog the best workout of their life.
Caesar's first exercise accomplishes two things: drain the dog's dangerous energy and serve as a
dramatic. That's what we wanted. I mean, it's a small space, so we could do something bold with the floors, but it won't overpower the whole house. I'll start mixing the grout. So everything on that side is completely dry and you're good to grout. Just don't do these ones yet. Okay, sounds good.
Now that their kids are older, Michael and Vanessa want their home to feel more adult. So these modern, high-contrast design elements are going to update their home perfectly. It's going to be almost as dramatic as Jonathan.
Oh, how dare you! Michael and Vanessa used to have such dark colors on the walls, it just sucked up all the natural light. This way, the only darker tones are in the furniture pieces, and then everything else has been lightened up. This is so great. I mean, the massive difference from before. Well, and with it this open, now Cole can fly everywhere, wherever Cole's heart desires. Cole's tiny little bird heart.
This is a free-flying design.
It is. Straight from Cairo.
The miniature pyramid. Originally, our budget was $115,000 to give Vanessa and Michael a nice open main floor. But it turns out they also needed a whole new roof. We pulled in some favors and we managed to get the price way down, but that still brought their budget right up to the max they could afford at $120,000. But we knew that no matter what, we could not let a leaky roof destroy their stunning new home.
This is a beautiful, beautiful space. Yeah, and a space they will actually enjoy using. This is the kitchen of Vanessa's dreams. Let's get them. How you feeling?
Super excited. Can't wait to see
Very
it.
excited.
And I see the roof. The roof is amazing.
Beautiful new roof, no leaks, and the color ties into your
New front door.
Oh, look at the door. It's so
Nice.
big and beautiful.
You know what's behind door number one? It's behind beautiful new forever
Oh
home.
my god.
Come on in.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's beautiful. What's the new home?
It's so beautiful.
What do you think? Wow, I love the glass.
I could never imagine that like this. Wow, thank you.
You're great. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Do I need to?
Yes, thank you.
We wanted to make sure that you guys had something that was worthy of your awesome family. Before, when you walked in, it wasn't exactly welcoming. So we opened everything up to make it light and inviting, added some elegant marble tile for contrast, and some warm accent pieces to make it feel like a place you want to come home to. And now it lives up to the amazing family that lives here.
Thank you. This is stunning.
There's no longer this
It
barrier
doesn't
here.
feel like a tunnel anymore.
I love it. I love the floor, and I like the contrast between the landing and the stairs.
Yes, I love the stairs. And these, oh, the
Yes, same
glass.
lines.
Wow.
That is amazing.
This is gorgeous. It feels so open, so bright in here.
You can see.
I love it.
Oh, look at the walls.
Oh, wow. I love the color of the floors.
Does it feel like home?
It does feel like home. A better home.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Actually, I'll let you have space.
Yeah, this is amazing.
You look like a queen.
I feel like a queen. Gorgeous.
We definitely
Wow.
wanted to take it up a notch. You weren't even using this space because it was dark and the furniture was uncomfortable, and now it's a beautiful, cozy space for your family to gather.
Yes.
But it's also wicked stylish.
It is. It's so mature.
It's mature.
He's trying to be not mature, using words like wicked silence. Super wicked silence.
And I love the couch because it's cozy.
But it still has shape.
It does have shape.
Yeah, well, it's great for the family. Lounge in here.
And I feel like I can just take both of my boys and snuggle with them on the couch like when they were babies.
Recreating that photo?
Yeah, just like that.
Because they're a lot bigger.
I know. Our kids are getting older now, and I know that eventually they're gonna move out, but I always want them to come back. So to have a place they can come back with their families, it's
just so perfect.
I think with a space like this, it's gonna make them want to stay with you and cuddle a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, even if they're half as happy as you guys were walking in that front door, then we are doing all right.
Yeah.
This is amazing. But how about that kitchen and dining space?
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's like a new house.
It is a new house.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
No walls.
No walls.
It feels very, very inviting now,
So clean looking.
So we actually built the hood in there, so everything looks nice and clean. Yeah.
Oh.
And we tore out the old cabinets and tile to give you the white, modern look you wanted, complete with two-tone cabinets for contrast.
I knew there was a two-tone effect coming, but I didn't know how that was going to work.
Yeah.
Right? I love the fact that it's separated this way.
Yeah, and also having the slab backsplash too.
I love that.
Yeah, clean backsplash. Also the slab style cabinets, it gives you more of that reflective surface. And you were saying how you like that polished kind of a look.
I do. And the island is so big.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Much
So
bigger
the
than I thought it
breakfast
would
bar.
And then dishwasher.
This is a dishwasher?
Yeah, this
We've
was-
never had a dishwasher.
That's like the biggest thing
This
ever
is
for us.
amazing. Oh,
Every second you can save of time,
Yeah.
you can spend as a family doing
Spend it
things
together.
Well, if you like that, what do you think of this?
Is that the microwave?
This is a drawer microwave. Loaded from the top, so you don't have to bend down too low.
I wanted this.
We're trying to give you every functional element you could possibly have in this house. Top of the line appliances, that is a gorgeous fridge. The cooktop over here in the oven.
I think it'll be great for cooking. I love it. And I love these lights.
I mean, this is gonna be a kitchen that makes a lot of great family meals. I can see the kids sitting there at the breakfast bar.
Yeah. It's like they can do their homework here, and I can just be here.
No more wall right here, so you can actually see the
You
dining
can
room.
see everything. You can see right outside.
And I see we've lost the window.
You did, but you wouldn't even notice.
But no, we're not missing any light.
No, I love it.
Not only does that wall going away give us more light, but it also gives us the sightlines for when you're entertaining. It gives us more function with the prep space on the countertop, the storage space.
Yeah, surprisingly, there's a lot of storage, given that we've lost the whole wall.
And by the way, talking about storage, come around the corner here.
Oh. This is awesome. Whoa.
Pull out drawers.
Oh my god, this is like a dream.
You know, we've had no closet doors here for 15 years.
Yeah.
Finally, we can hide our coats and things.
When you have guests over, you can tuck everything away. You also have extra storage on the side of the dining area.
Oh,
And a good sized table.
I didn't even see this. Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
This is nice.
I love the fact that it's not all white. It's clean, but has some contrast.
The big word over and over, especially at that Inspiration House tour, was contrast.
Yes, you said that.
Well, also, we wanted to make it a lot more sophisticated, but we didn't want it to be stuffy. It has to be somewhere a family wants to spend time.
Yes, I love it. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is perfect.
You really have the best vantage point from right where you are now, because you can see all the way down through those beautiful railings, past the gorgeous kitchen.
I love it.
Well, that's what makes it such a nice space for me, is that it's completely open feeling.
Yeah, you could probably dance in here.
I think we have enough space
We have
now.
enough
And you guys take lessons?
Yes, we did take lessons.
Cha-cha?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Michael is my forever. So now we have our forever home. It's just like we're gonna get old together. I just feel like this is like our big girl house. You know?
Big girl house?
Couple house.
Yes, big
Big
couple house.
You have a house that was already full of memories, and now it's a new space to create new memories in. Should we get the boys? Yeah, let's do it. Welcome home.
Wow.
What do you think?
Awesome.
Lucas, we wanted to give you a beautiful kitchen to inspire your inner chef.
I think you did that.
This is such a massive transformation. They're already picturing all the beautiful family moments they're going to have. We love seeing families that are so connected to a house and get into the space that really works for them. For the record, it's not just a house reveal party. It's a graduation party. Morning, everybody. Morning, guys. Who likes ice cream? You do? Oh, really? Well, I'd like to do an ice cream toast. You can see how much love there is for you guys. And the fact that you did all of this for these two right here. I have a little friend who wants to show you his new home, too. We wanted to make sure that he felt at home, just like you guys do in this new space.
Wow, that's huge.
I know you love it. Oh, Lando, the best looking person here. This is Michelle and Chris's forever home. These high school sweethearts grew up right here in this neighborhood.
She happened to be in my homeroom, and we hit it off.
I think it was my perm.
They had a finished basement, but 6 years ago, it flooded, and they never rebuilt.
My dad and I spent about a year putting this all together. Within one day, that was all just reversed.
That's just heartbreaking. So, we're teaming up.
I love sledgehammer.
Wow.
To help them stay in the home they love.
I can't even believe that this is ours. Oh my god! Oh my gosh.
A house is four walls. A home, that's where memories are made.
Talking about.
This is Property Brothers Forever Home. You can always tell a desirable neighborhood when there are no for sale signs. Nobody wants to leave. Oh, it's beautiful. And they've actually grown up in this neighborhood too. High school sweethearts, it's like a romantic movie. Hey! So, we were just commenting on how beautiful this neighborhood is, and I can tell why you guys love this place.
Yes, absolutely.
And how beautiful you guys are. You're like this romantic story that will bring a tear to my eye. High school sweethearts.
Yes.
So how did you meet? Were you in the same class?
She happened to be in my homeroom, and we hit it off.
I think it was my perm.
How big? How big?
As big as it could get. It was the 90s.
So then if you grew up in this neighborhood, does that mean that Rebecca and Amanda are going to your high school?
Yes, they've gone to every school that I went to.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've been here how many years?
12 years.
12 years?
12 years.
Okay. What is it that made you fall in love with this place?
The first thing that was important to us was the neighborhood because I grew up here.
And myself as well. We've been living in this neighborhood for generations, basically.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, why don't we get inside the house and have a look at what you love inside and what we can change to make it better for you. Michelle and Chris have such deep roots in this neighborhood, and it's really an amazing thing. You don't see that anymore. Yeah, they want to stay here so they can make that connection stronger, and we're happy to be a part of it. Oh, wow. All right. So as soon as you walk in the house, what bugs you?
The entranceway. We're a family of 4. Trying to get 4 people in this door, and
Any more than
me
one at a
saying
time.
don't step on the hardwood if you can avoid it, even though it doesn't look great.
Overall, it's a great open space in this area, close off to the kitchen, but there's a lot to work with. Right now, there's not a lot of cohesion. You have so much love for each other. You've got these beautiful kids. I want it to feel like a family home.
Really, it's all hand-me-downs. The majority of the pieces in the house. As people in the family get rid of things, they ask us if we want them, and we say, sure.
I think you're busy adults and you're a busy family and you have 2 kids, so
Yeah.
sometimes the thought of putting effort into the design of your home is the last thing you want to think about.
It is.
That's why we're here to help. Now, in the dining area, this is a pretty tiny table. How do you guys entertain when you have guests over?
We don't really have guests over.
Oh, okay. Why?
We don't have the space. And if I may be honest, we don't love bringing people into the space.
Oh, that's not good.
But we'd really like to.
Well, I mean, we'd love to give you a beautiful place that you would be proud to bring people over. Your home should be that sanctuary where you can all come together and spend time together.
Yeah, absolutely. The kids spend a lot of time in their rooms, and they're getting older fast. And I just want us to spend as much time together as we absolutely can. And we don't get that right now.
It looks like you're well, it's true though. I
And
mean,
it's true. I mean, they're all of a sudden they're 12 and 14. You know, they used to be so little. So I want a space where they want to come home and spend time with us.
Oh, I love these guys. They have so much love for their kids. You can see that Michelle's getting emotional just talking about what they want to give to their kids. They remind us of our family too because we are really, really close. We spend as much time as possible together. We're going to make this place perfect. What's the story in this kitchen? What bugs you?
Everything. The cabinets are original. When we moved in, they had painted them white. And I was like, oh, if we paint them brown, it'll look more like
Brown.
Poop.
wood.
I mean, obviously, I know why you're making fun of your kitchen because this is probably the most tired, the most dated of everything. I've seen.
Oh, is it the fan? That's the.
Is it slowly winding up?
It's warming up.
Ah. That is the most demonic sounding thing. Okay, that's just that is so creepy. That's going on. Wow. What about this? Like, what do you want to see here?
I want this going.
I agree. That's the number one thing that has to happen. If we can scrap this dividing wall and the foot wall, we open up the sightlines in the living room, dining room, and kitchen. We could put an island with breakfast bar seating here. Then, no matter where you are in the living area, you can enjoy each other's company.
Oh, great.
Yeah. These houses always have nice big basements. Is the basement done, or is it in dated shape too?
We had it finished when we moved in within a couple of years, but about 6 years ago we had a flood. Want to go take a look? We can.
Yeah, sure. So you ripped it apart after the flood?
Yeah, Dad and I spent about a year putting this all together. And then, as we mentioned, we had a flood down here, and within one day, that was all just reversed.
And it was pretty devastating.
And nothing covered by insurance. Like, that's just heartbreaking. It's been 6 years, you said?
Yes. 6 years.
Well, I'd love to see this finished. What was this for you? Was this just an extra living space?
It was used constantly. This was where we always were. The kids would come down here with their friends and they would play and play dates, and being teenagers, you know, you gotta have somewhere you feel like you can go and hang out and it's okay.
A lot of their friends have these like larger homes where they prefer to spend time there than here.
It's upsetting. It's, you know, we feel like we sort of let them down. Does that make sense? I don't want to let them down.
No, well, I mean, you guys obviously love your kids more than anything in the world. So I want to see you guys be able to give them what you've always wanted to give them.
Yeah.
We've had some devastating blows over the years with our family at home. We've had floods, we've had fire, and it's not a fun thing to deal with. And to see how much they gave up after putting so much into that basement, it breaks my heart. So we're here to help, and we're going to make sure the house is perfect. This is a classic 1950s single-story home with 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. We need to focus all of our efforts on the main living area, the living room, dining room, and kitchen, and bringing their huge basement back to life is a huge priority. What kind of a budget are you thinking for the renovation?
I think we're comfortable with the 125.
125,000
max.
Okay. There's a lot that we would be doing for 125,000, but it's doable. We want to make sure that everything's not only beautiful but safe. Upstairs, we're going to test for asbestos just to make sure we know what we're dealing with. In the meantime, we can, pull out some of the cabinets, things like that we know won't be affected. So I'm going to show you a house that has the kind of things I think you'll like.
Okay,
Perfect.
that's good. That's great.
All right, well, we have a big project ahead of us, but this is going to be great.
The idea of having our basement back is so exciting. Being able to go down there and use it all the time.
We need a basement to continue to spend time together as a family.
This house was built in 1958, and back then it was pretty common for asbestos to be used in home construction. So we need to take some samples for testing. In the meantime, we can safely take down the cabinets and do a few other things just to get this renovation started. Most stylish construction crew. You guys didn't get the plat demo. What the heck?
No, we did not get the fun.
Unacceptable. Should we just kick them off the crew?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. Rebecca and Amanda are here, and they are raring to go. I mean, this renovation is for them, so I can't think of a better way to kick off this demo.
I love sledgehammer.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
She's been eyeing that sledgehammer.
You want to smash? All right, so come on over here. You're going to hold it just like that, right against you like this. You're going to pull the trigger, and we're just going to cut through the 2x4 on top.
Okay.
Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Ready? All right, go for it. So now you are going to take a couple swings.
Well, you can do it.
Keep going.
Nice. You've done a great job loosening it up. You cut the end over here, but there's one very important construction tool you guys have to learn to use. All right. Woo!
Wow.
How long have you wanted to get rid of that?
I've always wanted to pick up a hammer and just beat a wall. I don't know why.
Now we're replacing the door down there.
I'm so
happy to get rid of all this stuff.
Hey, did you guys realize there's a creepy hole in the bottom of this cabinet?
What is that down there?
There's definitely something that's been living under there.
Ew! Ew, what is it?
Let's see if I can figure out what it is. 1 second.
This is not fun.
She's cool as a cucumber, and you're freaking out. There's one way to see what's under there. Pull the cabinets out. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then let it tilt down. All right. Rebecca, grab your saw. This is what we're gonna do. Can you do me a favor and just cut right there? Okay. I want to see what's living under the cabinets. All right, there we go. The mouse had TV dinner.
That is disgusting.
You can see some little mouse droppings and stuff. I think that's what it was. You had mice living in the cabinet.
Right.
Not crazy out of control. I would have expected a lot more with a house of this age.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, we will make sure the mice do not come back.
We got a bird and a guinea pig. I don't need anything else.
Thank you.
No more mouse to feed, please.
Because we don't want to go disturbing all the walls and everything right now. I'll clear the rest of this out, but you guys are definitely permanently part of my demo squad. Yeah. There's only so far we could go with the demo because we're waiting for the results of the asbestos test, and unfortunately, it came back positive. The safe play is to have the abatement team come in and do the rest of the demo. It's going to be a hit to the budget, but the good news is we found it so Chris and Michelle can breathe easy knowing that their forever home will be 100% asbestos free.
I'm proving you for weight loss surgery.
Nadat ze de eerste strijd hebben gewonnen,
It's hard for me to believe how far I was able to come in just a year.
staat de volgende alweer voor de deur.
This operation is going to be a quick operation.
Maar ze zijn vastberaden om ook deze te gaan overwinnen.
That was so much harder than I thought. It's been such a long journey. I'm very thankful for all the ways my life is changing.
My 600-pound life, where are they now? Elke maandag 8:30 bij TLC.
Things with Cody and I have been hard for a long time.
She's been telling wives that she's wanted to leave me for years. That feel betrayed.
I don't recognize my family. If women are not married to the same man, they're not a sister wife anymore. It's pulled the door wide open. Am I still a sister wife? The answer is no.
Een nieuwe aflevering Sister Wives, woensdag 8:30 bij TLC.
Honestly, my dad needs to be in jail for the rest of his life.
He wanted to save Britain.
She was forced to perform even when she was exhausted. He loved to control everything I did, and it went on for over 13 years.
It was an opportunity to get Britain back.
Is it not hard to have a family member with mental illness? Of course it is. Literally, my family threw me away.
Jamie versus Brittany in the father-daughter trials. Vanaf 21 januari bij TLC.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her, you can save her.
You come this far, you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Op het Belgische platteland is er een plek waar je met een gerust hart je oude spulletjes kunt brengen. Hier worden verwaarloosde voorwerpen nieuw leven ingeblazen. Door Vlaamse vakmensen met precisie en gevoel. En daarmee komen dierbare herinneringen ook tot leven.
Ik heb mijn stuk van mijn leven teruggegeven.
De Repair Shop België. Elke dinsdag 8:30 bij Discovery.
I'm so excited to work with Michelle and Chris. They are a blank slate when it comes to design. I want to guide them and open their eyes to the possibilities. So I found this house that will really speak to them, and I hope it awakens their inner designer. You ready to shed some of your obsessions in the past, brown and hand-me-down?
I have to see, I don't know.
Most people have a hard time picturing what their house could become, but seeing it firsthand, that's what makes a difference.
Wow.
Wow.
This is open.
This is very open.
And then what do you think of the hardwood floors? They flow all the way through.
I like the flow. It brings everything
Do you
together.
like the darker tone or lighter? What do you like?
I prefer the darker tone.
Me as well. I like the wider plate as well.
This is somewhere that I have no problem having brown in your house. That's what I liked about this house. It's not so uber contemporary that it feels sterile. It actually still feels lived in. It feels comfortable. These are quartz countertops, zero maintenance, especially with kids or if you're worried about spilling anything. This is nice.
Yes, this is beautiful.
Now, if you also look here, we have two-tone cabinets. What do you think?
I love it.
Okay.
It's cool. The only other thing I would do is contrast the countertop. So I would go from the dark here and then the lighter.
Look at you, little designer lady over here. I am impressed with you guys. You're willing to go a little more edgy than I thought you were willing to go. Two-tone countertops, two-tone cabinets.
Yeah, I would love that.
When you're thinking living room, what do you need?
I love this feature wall here. I love that there's cabinetry there. But if you look over in that seating area, I love the fireplace.
Yeah.
That's a great focal point. What I love the most about this home is the fact that everything's open. So it doesn't really matter where you are on that main floor, we're together. And that's, I think, what we're going for. We just want to be together.
Get ready for some fun.
Wow.
This is an entertainer's dream. What sort of vibe do you want in the basement?
We want the girls to enjoy it. I mean, that's their space as far as I'm concerned. So having a game room would be something that would definitely be motivating for them. They want to use it.
What are your thoughts about allotting a certain portion of the budget to a bathroom downstairs?
Yes, I would say with 2 teen daughters, I'm in a position now where I get booted out quite often.
Let Jonathan know that's something that could be important, and then he'll give you some options.
Drew was listening to what we said.
He's interpreted what our
Yes.
dreams and what our forever home will be.
Yeah, he's brought forward things that I don't think we even realized.
I have so much great information for Jonathan that can help him make up the options for Chris and Michelle. They want modern style with a traditional flavor. They really want dark, white plank hardwood flooring throughout the main living area. They want two-tone for the cabinets and the quartz countertops, which is awesome. They'd really like open sight lines and a feature wall with a fireplace. They definitely want some kind of game room component in the basement, and they'd like a second bathroom down there. We just need to find a way to fit that into the budget. The asbestos abatement is done, which means we can see inside the walls. Next step is going to be to open this entire place up, but already I am loving what it looks like. And the other good news, we got word back from the engineer that if we run a 14-inch engineered beam across the main living area and support it from the basement up, we will be able to remove this wall and totally open up the space. Now we can start framing in the basement, but before I finalize my design options for Michelle and Chris, we need to decide on finishes. Oh, man, is it right? Wait, let's make me a groupie. Yeah, you get free tickets. An air guitar groupie, you gotta work on your routine. So let's start with the countertops. So they did say they want to go two-tone with the cabinets and the countertops. So this is gonna look great. A lot of people love their white or an off-white. But how about mixing up a little something dark with those? I like the gray here, but this with the white veining, that's beautiful. And how beautiful would the gray be with this as the countertop? Well, how about that as well? So this is island and that's the wall. So two-tone on the stone and two-tone on the cabinet. They want both. And then on top of that, for the wood, anything here, I mean, this is a really natural rustic look here. The darker tone, they love dark floors. Okay, cool. Leave this with me. Perfect. There's only one section of this old kitchen wall that needs to stay up for temporary support. So before we bring Michelle and Chris back for the options, we're smashing down everything else so they can have the full effect of what their new open sightline looks like.
Whoa!
Whoa!
I didn't realize the rafters went so high.
Wow, that's unreal. Is this what my house looks like?
This is crazy.
Down to the bare bones, through the kitchen.
Wow.
Isn't it cool to see it opened up? It's a blank slate. We're obviously planning to open this up completely and give you this amazing kitchen, living area, dining room, all connected, no obstructions at all.
Right. Perfect.
You have a $125,000 budget, but then we got hit with the asbestos cost.
All right, correct.
In order to remediate all the asbestos, and you'll notice there's no insulation on the exterior walls.
Right.
We're gonna have to fur that out, spray foam that as well. We're taking like a $13,000 hit to your budget. So we had to get a little creative with the plan, but we still have two fantastic options for you. In option one, now that we've totally opened up this main floor, we'll unify the space with wide plank flooring, and we'll make sure your dining room table is big enough for a dinner party. In your kitchen, light cabinets with black counters will be a huge improvement over the old brown ones. We'll add all new appliances, and we'll build a nice big island with contrasting colors, a cooktop, and seating for the whole family. We'll carry the whites and blues into the living room to complete the look. Downstairs, we'll bring your basement back to life. There will be game nights, movie nights, sleepovers, everything will be back. Brace yourself because Rebecca and Amanda will probably be having parties all the time. Back in this unfinished area, we'll build a much needed second bathroom with a shower and double sink. Great for you guys and for your guests.
That's exciting for us.
Oh, that's cool. We talked about how we want the kids to have that space to bring their friends, and we don't want them to be embarrassed. Then you're the one affected the most by us using the bathroom.
I get booted out quite often.
It doesn't completely balance things out. We're still about $3,000 over budget, so it would come in at $128,000, and we could have that done in 7 weeks.
Perfect. And I know you're saying too that you can't go over that 125. We can also look at other ways that we can shift a little bit with materials and whatnot to really try and balance that last 3,000. That's more manageable.
Okay.
For option 2, everything will be exactly the same as option 1, except for 2 changes. Instead of putting a bathroom in the basement, we'll add rough-ins to make it easier for you to do down the road. And with the money we save down there, we'll give your living room a huge upgrade. We'll build the feature wall of your dreams with custom built-in cabinets that go floor to ceiling and a modern fireplace insert. It'll be a stunning focal point for the entire main floor living space. It would cost about $123,000 and I can get it done in 6 weeks. That would bring us in on budget. That would actually bring us in $2,000 under budget.
Okay.
Decisions.
Yeah.
Okay. Difficult decision.
It is. It's tough.
How important is that extra storage and that feature wall that you've never had as opposed to getting an extra bathroom downstairs?
I think when we talked about it, the built-ins were really going to be the centerpiece of our upstairs entertainment space.
Except for a family of 4 in one bathroom.
Yeah.
I do love the feature wall and the fireplace, and the whole intention for us to do this was to make this a place where we have our family and friends and entertain, and I think that's...
Down the road, we're going to need a bathroom downstairs, but for now, I think this is more important.
It is nicer to be under budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often, so it's important to us.
You don't want to hear option 3?
Oh, is there an option 3?
Option 3, we just put everything back.
Oh, sure. What's that gonna cost?
Even more.
Yeah. So you guys want to go for option 2?
Yes, option 2.
I thought between the fireplace feature and the bathroom downstairs, they would have gone for the bathroom, but no, I guess they decided they wanted to have that entertainment space.
And you know what? They could always do that down the road if they really felt like it. But every family has a different problem that needs to be solved, and these guys know this is the space they want. Before you know it, you'll have the kids bringing their friends over, and you'll be entertaining the way you want it.
I can see my kids right now sitting at the island while we're making breakfast, making dinner. I'm excited. I think that this is going to be what we needed to make this our forever home.
For me, the openness is going to be amazing.
But now I think it's time to kick you guys out. All right. I'll see you guys later.
All right.
I'm approving you for weight loss surgery.
Nadat ze de eerste strijd hebben gewonnen,
It's hard for me to believe how far I was able to come in just a year.
staat de volgende alweer voor de deur.
This operation can be a big operation.
Maar ze zijn vastberaden om ook deze te gaan overwinnen.
That was so much harder than I thought. It's been such a long journey. I'm very thankful for all the ways my life is changing.
My 600-pound life for Are They Now. Elke maandag 8:30 bij TLC.
How can we from the total opposite side of the world that we've never met?
90 Day Fiancé gaat verder dan ooit tevoren.
British women are just hard work.
Naar de UK.
I want him to love England.
It's all rainy.
Are you sure he's not just after a passport?
He thinks it's my intention to propose to him. Gotta take a chance. Good luck.
90 Day Fiancé UK. Elke donderdag 8:30 bij TLC.
I'm going to become a monk.
You look like a happy Buddha. This is a womb.
I didn't think I would ever be a father again.
I'm ready. You're pregnant again. What are we thinking?
We're thinking about going to Israel for 6 years.
He left his pregnant wife and you didn't say anything.
Because, you know, I gotta choose my battles.
That's a battle.
David en Annie en Lauren en Alexia after the 90 days. Elke zaterdag 8 uur bij TLC.
Honestly, my dad needs to be in jail for the rest of his life.
He wanted to save Brittany.
She was forced to perform even when she was exhausted.
He loved to control everything I did, and it went on for over 13 years.
It was an opportunity to get Brittany back.
Is it not hard to have a family member with mental illness? Of course it is.
Literally, truly, my family threw me away.
Jamie versus Brittany, the father-daughter trials. Vanaf 21 januari bij TLC.
This is your chance to keep her alive. Save her, you can save her.
You've come this far. You know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Back in the 1950s, separating the kitchen from the living space was the norm. These layout plans don't really work anymore, and it definitely wasn't working for Michelle and Chris. So, up go the temporary supports, and in goes the 14-inch engineered beam. When we're done, we'll turn 3 spaces into 1, and they'll have the open family home they've been dreaming of. Down in the basement, we can't go any further until we install a backflow preventer to make sure history doesn't repeat itself.
There's the saw. So what caused the backup before? That was basically a crazy storm. They had tons and tons of rain, and the storm sewer couldn't handle it. And so all that water backed up into the house, flooded and ruined everything. So we were going to cut down, and we're going to put in a backflow preventer, which means that no matter how much pressure comes from the sewer, it will never back up into the house again. That's actually going to be better for their insurance too. Oh yeah, and so we'll make sure that this is safe and that it's done right. All right, turn the water in? Yeah, it's in the way you got that. I really want to get this basement right because Chris and his dad spent over a year to try and finish this basement so the family could use it, only to have it ravaged by a flood and everything was ruined. I'm going to make sure we solve the flooding problem so that'll never happen again, and we make sure it's beautiful. We've got plumbing and electrical underway, and the asbestos problem is behind us. This reno is actually going pretty smoothly, but down in the basement, the layout is going to be tricky. There's already 2 existing support posts that can't be moved, and now because we're opening up the main living space upstairs, we have to put a 3rd post in the basement, which isn't really good for the layout down there.
So what is the dealio down here for supporting the new upstairs load?
So we have to have a post that carries that weight all the way down, and the post was going to land about here, but it was going to stick out like a sore thumb. This actually cinder block wall isn't even holding a load, so I wonder if we could just cut it back. You can see that there's a lot of it that's just not even doing anything. It's like they just filled the rest of it in. You can't just put the post right up against it. We could, it would stick out a tiny bit more than we need, so if we can just cut that back, then the whole thing can be closed in the wall.
And support the beam from right there, rather than in the room.
That's better. You don't want to eat up space in the room, we can just bump it back on the foot.
Yeah.
I'll get you saw. Who wants to do the dirty work? Oh, I think you should do the dirty work. No, I'll get a saw. You can do the dirty work. So we have a solution. We'll cut back the old cinder block wall, and we can add a new footing, install the support post, and when we put up the walls down there, it'll be perfectly hidden. I love that our rough-in plumbing is done in the kitchen, rough-in electrical is completed everywhere, and even our temporary walls are good to go because our new beam is in. I feel like this is the most exciting moment because even before Chris and Michelle, we are going to see this completely opened up. You want to start on that end? I'll start on this end. Let's do it. All right. The temp walls are coming out one by one. We're slowly seeing this space open up. And these, we're just holding the load until we get that beam in. Everything's secured in. Oh, there we go. And with that, it is open. Mic drop. It looks so good. We will get our insulation done, drywall, floors, and then we are ready for cabinets. Nice. This is totally what the family had in mind. They wanted to be able to walk in the front door and see everything. You're a natural. Typically at this stage of the game, we kick our homeowners out. We don't want them to see what we're doing so we can surprise them. But Chris was such a big part of this basement. Him and his dad had built it, they finished it, and then they had to tear it all out. We wanted him to be a part of this.
How long did you actually get to use it before the flood happened?
We spent a couple of Christmases down here before the flood actually happened. When it was flooded, it was devastating. It was built for the kids, basically, and they haven't spent any time down here since the flood.
To me, that's sad. I mean, this was meant to be the ultimate family space. How was Santa in this space with your dad?
Being a firefighter, my dad was working 24-hour shifts when I was growing up. So we didn't really get the opportunity to do these types of things, whereas when we did this project, every night he would be here working with us. On weekends, my little one would come down and help us hold nails, and we were hammering things into walls, and it was really and truly a family affair that I hadn't experienced in the past.
So you were your dad's apprentice.
Exactly,
Yeah.
basically. And then my daughter was my apprentice, so.
Now, wait, does this mean now we are your apprentices?
No, I'm definitely your
Yes. Well, why don't we get back in here and get these walls up and start making this feel like a home. This can be the best family area you've ever had. And with the backflow preventer,
Yes.
no flood again.
Perfect.
All right. I think it means so much to Chris to know that he was hands-on in restoring this fun space because it's all for the kids.
My main focus is the basement. Just being able to provide that back to the family is something that is unbelievable.
Well, then why don't you do more screwing?
Getting all the drywall up in this basement really gives you that vision of how great it's going to look. And in the main living area, all the framing and spray foam insulation is done.
We're getting the drywall up, and before you know it, we'll have the shell of the new space, which feels twice as big.
Wait, if not more than that. Hey, John, look like you're working hard. I don't have to look like I'm working hard.
We're definitely working hard to not make this a hand-me-down house anymore.
I think this is the kind of space they've always dreamed of having. And I also love the fact that we have recessed lights throughout. Everything feels bigger about it.
When we showed up at Michelle and Chris's house, it was like stepping into a time machine.
Yeah, except the time machine was broken. It was stuck somewhere around 1973.
Exactly. So I kind of consider us like the time machine repairman. We need to get this clunker up and running and fly it back to the 21st century so Chris and Michelle can start enjoying their home.
We're renovating almost 2 entire floors of Michelle and Chris's home. Down in the basement, the drywall is up, we're mudding and taping, and it's already looking 1,000 times better. Up in the main living area, we've got kitchen cabinets going in today, and I'm excited because this is going to be one of the most dramatic transformations we have ever done, and it's going to transform the lives of everyone in this family. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
The custom kitchen is coming together. Gray on the perimeter, dark blue on the island. Once the stone's on here with our backsplash, this is going to be beautiful, and it uses every single square inch. But the most important thing is having this all open now means that we've created the ultimate forever home.
You're just saying that the kids are embarrassed to bring their friends over? I hate hearing that. This is the kind of house they can be proud of.
I remember growing up, I was just embarrassed to have my friends meet you, but other than that, the house was fine.
No, I would pretend to be you, embarrass myself, and they just thought it was you.
That's true. That's true. I feel like we should have a little friendly brother versus brother competition here.
With what?
I'm going to do some cabinet doors, see who can do the fastest. Carefully, without scratching the doors. It's all custom millwork.
Carefully, take your time.
You're only 3 doors in?
That's why it keeps popping out.
I thought you claimed to be the most talented brother.
Stop smacking me.
Ah! Oh, this one does not want to go.
He's pulling ahead. Hey, where are my other doors?
Where are my doors? Ah, this one will not go.
You hid the doors.
What are you talking about?
Where are my doors?
I don't even know.
Sure.
Yeah, this one will not go in. What do we got? What do we got? Ah, I still have the 2 over here.
Done. Oh, man. You know, I can teach you one day if you want me to teach you how to do quicker doors. Brother versus brother, Drew wins.
Excuse me, cheating. That one is not in. Did you not put this one in?
This one isn't in either.
What are you going to have with John? Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. You are so full of it. Oh my gosh. I win. Talk about an improvement though. 2-tone cabinets, beautiful blue on the island. I think this is going to be an amazing space.
Well, plus all the additional storage in the living area as well. We have those beautiful white cabinets, a fireplace feature. This is a house with style.
You missed a spot.
Yeah, all right. Can you give me the good roller?
How about I just give you the good brother? No?
I'll show you the missing spot.
Now we need to lay the tile for the main entryway.
The flow here is going to be so much better without that flimsy half wall.
As soon as you walk in, you see everything. The kids are gonna love it too. I mean, bringing their friends in here, dropping their stuff, jumping on the sofa. This is gonna be the perfect setup. This is exciting because all the drywall's done, first coat of paint, so now we're sort of racing to the finish line to get everything else done.
Look at that. Seamless. This is starting to feel like a real home.
One of the few things that survived the flood in Michelle and Chris's basement was this chest. When we saw it, we thought, how nice would it be to somehow incorporate this into the final design? We asked Michelle, and she thought it was a great idea.
I think this would look great if we sprayed it out, painted it, take all the hardware off, all sand it down a little bit, and then why don't you grab some paint? Just be careful not to go too deep because we don't want to go through the veneer, right? Okay?
I think freshening up this old chest is going to be very meaningful to Chris and Michelle, and that's what this is really all about. The flood left a big hole in their hearts, and I feel that this renovation is going to heal old wounds.
Yeah, this family has so much love for each other, and we're creating a home where they can connect and share, and they just want to have that family life that they've always dreamed of. And I think we can do whatever it takes to make sure that this basement renovation stands the test of time.
This underlay looks a little bit different. What's the material?
This is an upgrade. It's not only just a thermal break because it's raising it up off the slab, but it's a moisture barrier too, and it'll keep it from making any of that hollow knocking sound.
Nice.
And we ran a trench along here with drainage as well, so they will literally never ever have a drainage issue or flood down here again.
It would break my heart if Chris had to take this up again. The basement work is pretty well done. We just need to stage it, and I think the right game will finish off the space perfectly.
Come on in. And since the basement really is for Rebecca and Amanda, I thought, why not bring them to a game store so they can help pick one out? I think it's important that we try every single thing in here because we need to make it the perfect basement for you guys. So we get serious? Game mode?
Yes.
Let's do this.
It's not just Rebecca and Amanda that are excited. I'm like a big kid in this store. Look at all the games.
And
The intensity, the speed.
oh, that's one point for you.
I really like this game. I mean, it's probably the most competitive. Yeah, I always go for winning.
I think you need some help.
I feel like this is really fun.
Yes.
That is good. All right. Oh! You know what you will not beat me at? Ping pong. This is my game. Let's do this. I'll play a game, and if you win, you can pick whatever you want from in here, and I'll put it in your basement. I'll pay for it.
Really?
How's that? If you win. I mean, I'm pretty good. I like this inspiring. All right, we'll go to 5. Go. 1-0. 1-1. What was that? What? Where did you get that smash from? Okay, you win. No. I have a feeling you're in a professional ping pong league and you're not telling me.
Well, maybe we lied a little bit.
All right, well, you won, so you get to choose whatever you want here. What do you think? Anything in here?
How about air hockey?
All right. A promise is a promise. Never underestimate the power of 2 passionate kids. My gift to your basement. They were good.
Yeah.
Let's ring it in. Seriously, how did you learn to smash through that? That was hard.
I'm approving you for weight loss surgery.
Nadat ze de eerste strijd hebben gewonnen,
It's hard for me to believe how far I was able to come in just a year.
staat de volgende alweer voor de deur.
This operation is going to be a quick operation.
Maar ze zijn vastberaden om op deze te gaan overwinnen.
That was so much harder than I thought. It's been such a long journey. I'm very thankful for all the ways my life is changing.
My 600-pound life, where are they now? Elke maandag 8:30 bij TLC.
How can we love someone from the total opposite side of the world that we've never met?
90 Day Fiancé gaat verder dan ooit tevoren.
British women are just hard work.
Naar de UK.
I want him to love England.
It's all grey, rainy.
Are you sure he's not just after a passport?
It's my intention to propose to him.
Gonna take a chance. Good luck.
90 Day Fiancé UK. Elke donderdag 8:30 bij TLC.
I'm going to become a monk.
You look like a happy Buddha. This is a womb.
I didn't think I would ever be a father again.
I'm ready.
We're pregnant again. What were we thinking?
We're thinking about going to Israel for 6 years.
He left his pregnant wife, and you didn't say anything.
Because you know what, I gotta choose my battles.
That's a battle.
David and Eddie and Lauren and Alexi after the 90 days. Elke zaterdag 8 uur bij TLC.
Honestly, my dad needs to be in jail for the rest of his life.
He wanted to save Brittany.
She was forced to perform even when she was exhausted.
He loved to control everything I did, and it went on for over 13 years.
It was an opportunity to get Brittany back.
Is it not hard to have a family member with mental illness? Of course it is.
They literally killed me. My family threw me away.
Jamie versus Brittany, the father-daughter trials. Vanaf 21 januari bij TLC.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her, you can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
We just finished a dramatic renovation of Michelle and Chris's forever home. 6 weeks ago, almost the entire house was down to the studs. Now the main floor living area is totally opened up. The new furniture is coming in and it's looking spectacular.
No more hand-me-down furniture, no more mismatched stuff. Everything there is going to be beautiful.
Plus, we have brought this gutted, empty basement back to life, and we're totally tricking it out for some serious family fun.
So does it have to all be candy for the game area, or can it have fresh squeezed juice?
I could make my protein shakes.
But what people actually have fun.
Michelle and Chris are high school sweethearts. They basically grew up together in this exact neighborhood.
Yeah, so many things needed to happen to truly make this a forever home.
But we pulled it off, and for this family, there's no looking back.
So much more open and airy in here.
It is. It looks perfect.
I will
Delicious.
slap your wrist. Don't eat the food. I love how everything's going together. This is the perfect pairing. Dad joke.
Yeah. We started out with a budget of $123,000 for this renovation. We factored in all the asbestos and insulation costs before we drew up the budget. So for Michelle and Chris, some good renovation news for a change. We ended up right on budget.
All right. The perfect final touch.
Yeah. What do you say we bring him in?
We got a great day for the reveal.
We certainly do. Feel nauseous, anxious, I don't know.
All good things, though.
All good things.
Why? Wow! This is incredible! I can't believe it! Oh, jeez.
It's unreal.
I can't. It's amazing.
I can't even believe that this is ours. This is like better than I could have even dreamed it would be. I think I love absolutely everything about it. Is that possible?
I hope so.
You see everything from here. It's amazing.
Let there be light. This space is stunning.
I feel like Chris and Michelle really needed something that was going to feel like home. This feels like home.
I love the clock. I love the lights. Oh my gosh.
And the picture.
Oh, I love that.
You guys are an amazing family. I think for a house to feel like a home, you need to be able to capture those moments and display them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They deserve this. They deserve to have a home that makes them happy.
Oh my goodness.
It's incredible. They've had this house for 12 years, and this is what they've wanted to do for the kids the entire time. I love that they're so happy with the finished product.
I love this fireplace.
It is an electric unit, but you do have heat, so you can turn on the heat function, and it will heat the room as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice just to have a focal point.
It's exactly what we wanted.
This whole wall is now a feature wall, whereas before it was just block. All the built-ins, the cabinets here for storage, it functions for your lifestyle.
Unbelievable, because we never had anywhere to put anything, right? It's just,
This is amazing.
and even the furniture, it's gorgeous. It really is. And
Also
yet
functional.
functional. This is gonna be the place to be.
First off, we got rid of the hand-me-downs, we donated those pieces, and we brought in some furnishings that are updated, they're stylish, and they're functional for the family. They have storage, they have a focal point in the living room, they have seating space. No more having to let other friends host them for dinner parties. They can now have friends come to their house.
This is exactly what we talked about like 12 years ago when we moved in here in terms of something that we could do.
Gosh, like it literally jumped off the pages of a magazine, and yet it's ours.
Yeah.
I always felt like we belonged here, and it just needed some love.
I love that you have a focal point in the living room,
Yeah.
but then when you turn this way, you have an actual dining room.
Wow.
Wow. I love this. I love this table, and there's room for all of us.
The nice thing too is you've got space. If you ever have a
Yeah.
big party with lots of people,
Yeah.
you can just sort of spread out as much as you need. But now everything feels like one. It feels like it works
It
together.
really does.
Well, what I love though is not everything matches, but everything complements. Whereas before, not everything matched, but it didn't complement.
No.
And all the recessed lights throughout too, it makes everything feel brighter.
Yeah.
You have massive windows here, so with all these walls gone as well, lets the light travel around better. No walls means more natural light, and now they have that. There are two big things this house needed: less brown and less hand-me-down. And walls are down to give you that sight line into your kitchen.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
my island.
Oh, whoa. Should we give you a little bit of a long time on the island?
You take this one, I'll take this one.
Yeah, there you go. Each get your own.
It's really just beautiful. Oh, look at this.
That is amazing.
So it's a down vent here, so you don't have anything obstructing you. So all your cooking pots and everything will actually get sucked down and taken out.
That's unbelievable.
There's lots of space. We can all be sitting at the breakfast bar in the morning.
Tons of drawers, tons of storage.
I love the two tones of the counters and of the cabinets as well.
It's blown my mind here.
I love these appliances. I just love how clean everything looks. It's amazing.
It's built in. You don't have microwaves sitting on your countertop.
With the oven too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's just beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Well, you can't have a beautiful kitchen without beautiful appliances.
I mean, even the backsplash. It's stunning.
And going all the way up to the ceiling.
I didn't even imagine it like this. It was like, yeah, I like this. And yeah, I like that. But
Yeah.
oh my
When we're putting it
God.
together in our minds, it's like piece by piece. We might like this, we might like that. When you put it all together, it's just incredible.
There's a stylish feel, but it feels comfortable. It does seem to encompass your personalities, what you wanted the home to be.
Yeah.
And you can see with the walls gone now, it does make it a great connected family
It
space.
is. It's perfect.
I can't wait for the girls to see it.
The kids are going to love it. They're finally going to want to be here.
Well, actually, this is perfect because the basement is the ultimate hang pad for the kids.
Let's go see it.
Oh, we should get the girls and let's get them. Let's do this one for everybody else here. Hey!
Oh my gosh.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I can't tell if those are good laughs or bad laughs.
It's good.
What's different?
Everything.
We needed this. We had to have this renovation because our kids wouldn't bring people home here. They didn't want to be here and they were embarrassed by our home, and we were also embarrassed by our home.
It's important for me to have the kids have the reaction they did when they walked in. It means a lot to all of us to have a space that we can continue to grow as a family, a home that they love, and that they can love with us.
So, you want some basement?
Yes.
See you.
Hey, girls, already.
Oh my god. Holy cow.
Here we are.
Kidding me?
Wow.
It's the coolest space.
It's so different.
Ah, what do you think?
It's different? Wait, I didn't even think.
I was just here 3 weeks ago. What happened?
I don't know. Girls and I went and did a little shopping, and we chose this as the ultimate piece. And by the way, there's some slats underneath you can put on top to make it a table.
Wow.
Oh, no way. That's so cool.
With all the proper finishing, from the drainage to the membrane to the backflow preventer, it means we will never have a flood problem again.
Oh wow, and look at this. This is my hope chest. Do you guys remember that? That was at the front door.
We changed it a little bit because we know it's been with you for many, many years. We just wanted to give it a little bit of a fresh look, a bit of a designer touch.
I love it. It's gorgeous.
I love this basement area because it doesn't feel like a basement. It's fresh, it's open, it's clean. But I want to see you guys in there. This is where you and your friends are going to be spending a lot of time.
Holy cow.
Make yourselves at home.
Is it sleepover worthy?
Oh, yes. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so fun.
These guys did this for you. They really wanted you guys to be happy. They want you to love being at home and having your own space.
Aww.
Do you love it? Yeah. Good. I'm glad you love it. And you're never leaving, right? And you're gonna live with me forever now.
Thank you.
Do you love it? Yeah.
This honestly should be the new photo for up in the front entrance. The smiles on your faces right now are amazing.
This is amazing.
Now we have one little surprise for you.
Okay.
We've invited a bunch of your family and friends over, and they're upstairs right now, so why don't we head back out?
Just in time for a party. This home is finally our forever home.
Wow. You guys haven't even seen the basement yet.
It's just the perfect home.
Definitely.
Make yourselves at home. We want to get you all hopped up on sugar, so you're really loud and keep mom and dad awake all night.
I love you guys, but you gotta go.
All this work that we did, this entire renovation was worth it just to see that look on Amanda's face, to be able to have a sleepover and be proud to bring friends over to her house.
I miss having sleepovers.
Oh, that's so nice.
Nu bij TLC, flip or flop.
Hey.
Dad.
Hi, Daddy. Where are you?
Oh, hey, baby. Daddy's in Arizona teaching people how to flip houses.
Cool.
Go grab Rebecca.
Okay, we're like rushing out the door. Can I fly back to the car?
Just let me tell you something real quick. You got like 45 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a lead on this house. It's in Orange. The seller's asking $575, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1950 square feet.
And I think the comps are like 700 to 760, but the guy said he wants to move it fast.
And he wants us to look at it today. And I can't. I'm in Arizona.
I can't. The fact my hands are really full. The kids have doctor's appointments. After the doctor's appointments, I have to take them to school, and then I have to pick the kids back up. I don't have childcare today. Come on, Jim.
Okay, fine. Hear me out real quick then. Forget looking at it.
What do you think? We just came in with an all-cash offer at $540,000.
Because the comps are 7 to 760.